And when we take a look at some of the numbers coming in on remote, this week we got new numbers in for New York State, and the state controller there found that when schools shut their doors to in-person learning, shifting to remote or hybrid, 464,000 students with disabilities in New York State, representing 18% K through 12, lost out on those vital services. And so I guess the question there being, this year, what needs to happen to try to compensate for what the students were missing? So Ashley, I'm going to give that one to you.
Sure. I mean, I could not agree more with Peggy. I think those numbers that you just shared are not going to be unique just to New York, right? They're going to be countrywide. And so when we think about how we accelerate learning for students, and we look at where each individual student is relative to their, the competencies, the standards they need to master, tutoring is a great solution, right? Thinking through how you can create an individualized plan. Students that have a range of disabilities, they have that option, right? An IEP, an individualized education plan, is something in law that is there to help guide their learning. I don't see why we don't start expanding that for more, knowing that everybody is now not on equal footing, in a way that we could now say, in a customized approach, here's where you are, here's where you need to be, here's our plan to get there.
And I wonder too about those services. So many of them, Peggy, have to be hands-on, right? They have to have that face-to-face interaction. They need to see the teacher's lips moving, right? So many of those students, whether it be an occupational speech therapy or a physical therapy even, so much of that couldn't happen remotely. So then what happens now? Like, how do you bring these kids back where they should be, or is there just going to be it's going to take us a while to get there?
Well, it will take a while. I do expect that, but I think Ashley mentioned the IEP process, which I think is really a valuable tool, especially at this time, where a team, which includes the parent at a certain age, the student his or herself, so that you're teaching that child to advocate for his or her own needs. Experts, child study teams in New Jersey, psychologists, and the teacher in New York, sit down and look at what that student needs. And I know testing is a critical issue with people. There's all kinds of testing, right? But teachers do assess how kids are doing, where they are. They have assessment data from the end of the year. They'll be getting assessment data from the beginning of the year. In New Jersey, we have the Start Strong assessments, and all that information will enable that team, again, including parents and family members, to, as needed, to identify what the program will look like for that student. And now districts have tons of federal money to target those funds toward after school, as Ashley mentioned, tutoring, small group extended learning opportunities, summer programs, Saturday programs, interventions that go on during the day, in addition to the regular classroom instruction, that can really target in on those skills that those assessments are going to tell educators those students missed out, and also those skills that are priority. We've identified priority skills so that we're not reteaching a prior grade, but we're focusing in on those really important skills kids need to succeed at their grade level.